this. I don't know sports ball. So when my agent hit me up, like, yeah, they want you for this basketball sketch. I was like, I don't, I don't do that, right? Like I didn't. We just did a Spectrum commercial, and at the end of the
Baptism runs on
commercial,
Duncan. Thank you,
yeah,
Melissa.
that one is a ball that goes in the net at the end of the commercial. I tried 30,000 times. They were like, we'll just do it in post. I'm not a sports person. And then, what was it? It was no script really. And so I hit my agent back like, I don't have no dialogue. They was like, yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Robin, the freedom that she gives actors when she knows what they can bring out of a script or of a sketch is unheard of. I've never ever worked with anybody or never worked on a production like Black Lady Sketch Show. First of all, I had a handwritten note from Robin Thede in my dressing room when I got there. And I got there at like 4:30 in the morning, and the note was already there. It was her handwriting. I looked at other stuff online. I was like, yeah, she wrote that in real life. The amount of talent that was there, from you to Robin to Angel to Maya, it was outstanding. It like you said this when you were with I think D Nice. You were saying it can be intimidating, and it was because you guys had already jailed, and it was always a good energy there. But man, y'all, I'd never been on a set like that. It was amazing. One of my best.
You know, it's funny. We hear that a lot about like our set experience is so unlike any other show that people have been on. There's this synergy of love. Like it's high stakes comedy. It's embracing you to want to be a part of that energy and that thing. And like you said, there's this thing that Robin does behind the scenes that we don't even see. That like the personal cards, like reaching out to people personally, like she does all the extra things as our showrunner. She's so great at that and making it very personal, where you feel like, oh, like they treat me like I'm somebody over here, you know. And there's a lot of shows we go to and we start feeling spoiled, like a Black Lady Sketch Show had did this for me. Where are my fruits? Where is my love? Where is the dialing and checking in?
I had maybe one other project I've ever did in my life where somebody just like knew they wanted me. My agent was like, hey, they want you on this show. I was like, okay, what's the auditions? They was like, no, they want y'all. Every pearl was clutched. Every pearl was clutched and touched. It was amazing. It was hands down one of the best experiences of my life.
Well, I will say, hearing you say you're intimidated, it's shocking to me because you're so good and so funny and like so nuanced in what you do in your comedy world. So you fit right in, bro. Like you came, you did your thing, you were funny, you added all this stuff of like spinning the baby and like the collection plate and just like you really just found your space and you made it your own, and it was very, very fun. And you weren't the only one like breaking in that day. Like we had our head writer Chloe, who was the female pastor with that velcro long skirt and those tennis shoes and that mullet that was flipping.
Listen.
And she had that mean slam dunk into the basket. Like Chloe was MVP for the players that day. And then we had our new cast members in the choir singing, going off, doing.
It was dope. It was a dope experience.
There was a lot of energy that day. And that was my first time playing with Robin, who was playing that character.
Yes.
That was my first time playing. Because previously had been Quinta in season 1. Yeah. And then who did another one? Lacey played with her in another season. So this was my first time in that world with Robin, who like kills that character.
Kills it.
So it was just a lot of fun.
It was amazing. It was so seamless too. And like I said, going into something not having a script, I didn't know what to expect. But the fact that she just gave me free range to just bring the character to life was it was top tier. And it shows a lot about her casting and her ability to pinpoint the talent that she wants to work with and why she wants to work with them. So it was a super dope experience all around.
1000%. I know I probably have been missing some questions. So if you guys have questions, can you put them back in there? Because I don't know how to, I feel like I'm scared to touch something.
You scroll up too much and then it won't never get back. Yeah. It'll go weird if you scroll up too high. You can never get back to the original.
Exactly.
Trash.
I miss back in the day when the IG lives would keep the questions afterwards. Like, why did they stop that?
You'll get as mine.
I got questions. Why?
You'll get.
All right. So.
Get as mine.
All right. So what was so you said it was a little intimidating, but did you have a favorite part about either your character or I know you said that it was fun, but like, did you have a specific moment that kind of you remember that makes you laugh to this day?
Having Derek Fisher in a sketch was wild. When I walked in and I saw him, I was like, is that Derek Fisher? Like, I don't follow basketball like that, but I know a couple players. And
I even knew who he was, and I follow no basketball.
Right. I was like, Derek Fisher, and he was a fool with it. He was so cool. He was so dope, but Chloe just stole the show. Like, Chloe was amazing, and it's crazy because I'm in comedy too, and I hadn't worked with her, but I recently got a chance to do a show with her, and she came on my internet show, and it was just super dope to see her and like just witness her greatness. Chloe was hilarious the whole time, speaking the tongue, dancing, celebration dance, all of that. It was outstanding.
Sorry, somebody just said something about a question box. I didn't even know this was a thing. That tells y'all how much I do this. His line in the who came up with his line in the skit? I don't know which line they're referring to. Would you happen to know what they're talking about? Your line?
Maybe when I spent it and then I had somebody hold it and brought the collection plate out. Yeah. But all of that was improv too. That was all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the beauty of our stuff. Like, our writers do an amazing job writing, but we also do a good job of bringing in comedians and comic talent, or like people that are just naturally funny that know how to just find their way in this world and make it believable and improvise so many things. And that's where a lot of times we'll find the magic is stuff that just came out of thin air in the moment.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
So people wanted to know what do you have coming up? Like, what are you working on right now? Like, what are you filming right now? Where can we find what you got coming up?
I just finished 4 episodes of Johnson's on what is that on? You can catch it on Amazon. You can watch the previous episodes, but we just did I think season 3, 4 episodes of season 3 with that. And 2 more commercials. We just released one Spectrum commercial. Another one's about to roll out, and it's like a music video. It's gonna rival the spicy chicken and it's gonna rival that. It's gonna be a good commercial. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Spectrum gonna have you right here with it.
Is this what you're doing on there?
Yeah. It's gonna it's gonna be a lot of fun. So that, and then me, Tony Baker, Kevin on Stage, and Brandon Lewis are going on another tour right after this. So this is the first tour where we're doing theater. So this is a big deal.
And both Tony Baker and Kevin on Stage have both also a Black Lady Sketch Show fan.
Yeah.
They both have appeared in sketches. Tony a few times, and then Kev this year. Was his time too. So
it's gonna be. So we got that coming up, and that's gonna take us to like September. So I'm very excited about that first theater tour, and man. God's still in the business of blessing, so we're just going to keep rocking out like that.
Listen, God is in the business of blessing and handing out abundance of blessings. So I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
What I love about y'all whole crew, like, I know Angel, one of our cast members, she's a part of this crew too, is it's the movement. It's like this, it's like we coming.
Yeah.
We're coming. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a beautiful thing,
and I love to see it. Everybody is doing their thing.
Yeah, and everybody has solo projects, and we can all still come together and form like Voltron. And one person can get in. Like Kev started doing the Spectrum commercials first, and then he started pulling up in. And then Tony was the leader one. Then I was the leader one. So nobody's threatened by the other person's talent. We all can appreciate what each person's bringing to the talent and appreciate.
And that's how you win.
Yeah, and that's how you win. You know, so we're very, very excited about the work we got in the future, and a couple other things that we can't talk about right now.
Ooh, we like exclusives.
We
got that exclusive content.
I mean, it's coming. It's coming. A movie might be coming with me and my co-host Patrick Cloud. So we're working on some things.
Okay.
And nobody heard that. Nobody knows that yet. So that's a great thing.
I see some people are clowning your light.
You know what?
It is right here.
Listen. That's just, I was trying to get more light because of how I had it situated. But you know what? I got books holding this up because I don't have my tripod. But it's all good.
You were like, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
Because at a certain angle, it's giving Dwayne from the flip glasses.
Yeah, no, it was just that. I apologize, everybody. I should have known better. I apologize.
So are you looking? Okay, so we're looking forward to your work coming out. Did you get to? I know you're busy as well. So did you get a chance to watch this season? I love
LaDonna. Okay, first and foremost, that's one of my favorites with Omarion. And then my favorite was always going to be the courtroom ones. I love Yvette as a judge. She makes me laugh when my gums.
We love her
so I love that one.
We love her so much. Well, thank you so much, Tahir, for joining us.
Problem.
Thanks for playing with us. Thanks for stepping away from your podcast to talk to me today.
Absolutely.
Sending you so much more continued support and energy and good vibes your way. May the blessings continue to you and your team. We love to see it. And yeah.
I appreciate it. All right, y'all have a good one now.
All right, take care.
See you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we talked to the guys. Yeah, the guys represented. But now I got to bring in these queens, these hilarious comedy sirens, okay? Our new cast for season 4, Angel Lakita Moore. We got, let me make sure y'all on here. I don't see y'all. I don't see them. I don't see them in the requests. But my girl, Tamara J, Demaya Gurley, I don't see them on here. So hopefully you guys will put the request back in. I'm not sure if we were there. But the queens of a Black Lady Sketch Show comedy. We had so much fun. It was a treat getting to meet 2 of the 3, because I already knew Angel. But we didn't get to work with Angel for the first time, and working with these funny, funny women was like such a joy, such a treat. Every season, because I'm an OG child. I'm the rusty bitch. No, I'm teasing. I'm the old alpha here. No, I'm teasing. But I've been here since season 1. So to be able to, like, every season get to play with new artists is such a treat for us. Not only in our guest space, but also in our series regular space. So this year, I got to play with these 3 new amazing women. And they all have their own lane of where they come from and how most of you know them, and to be able to see them blossom and to have this new platform on HBO, y'all, like HBO, baby, to see these women like show up to the assignment. They did the homework. They came to class with their books and pens and paper. They were ready to do the assignment. That's what they did. So I see them here, and hopefully I can add them all more than once. So let's accept. And then how do I make a hit accept to 2? Tamara's joined. Up. I hear lips smacking.
Hi.
Hi, Angel.
Yo, sorry.
You got your shirt on today.
Listen, I said y'all not gonna catch me slipping this time.
Exactly.
You had your chance.
Come on, green background. Come on, foliage. Demaya.
Hi.
What was your long handle in courtroom? Kiki, what was that long Instagram handle you had?
If you think I'm cute, just look in the mirror because I'm merely a reflection of you and everything.
For everything.
We need the t-shirt. We need the t-shirt.
Yes.
So can you guys please give some hearts or some flowers or some round of applause? I don't know what your emoji of choice, but y'all have to like give some love for these ladies. I am so, you guys know how I feel about each of you, right? Yeah, I've talked to you all individually. We've shared love throughout this season. And
yes.
I don't know, like, let's just dive right in and just talk about, first of all, you all are fantastic and you all did your thing. And this last episode had me dying and had me also like in my feelings of memories of all the fun we had, from rehearsals to filming to going to Robin's house to get a sneak peek of the first season before the world.
Yeah.
So I just kind of want to know, is Angel frozen?
No,
or are you just really
she said the live ended for her on her end.
Yeah, her connection is acting
Oh, no.
I DM'd it to her again. Hopefully it'll send it.
Oh no.
Y'all DM Angel. Y'all DM Angel
the position. She looks like I'm about that business.
Yeah. And we'll hear her doomsday pose.
All right, so what do I do? Do I need to take her out or do I leave it up there?
Maybe take it. Oh, she's back. She's back.
She says, I'm here, so do I?
I feel like an auntie, honey. I don't know what to tell you.
Listen, don't look at me.
Okay, I'm going to hit accept again. And hopefully there won't be 2 Angel boxes. Because I don't...
Twist the handle and jiggle it.
There we go.
Me?
It's...
Oh, there she is.
connection. It's literally Instagram being like, the live is ended.
I'll probably run over time. That sounds like something I would do. So I guess we'll start with you, Angel, since your connection might jack us up. Tell us a little bit about how you got here to this moment, to this day, because I know your journey. A lot of your followers obviously know your journey, or some parts of your journey, because you and I started in these trenches a while back.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the moment how this audition came about, because I remember sharing a story in my stories from you posting, tagging me in a story 2 years back about how much you love the show and doing like this whole series in your stories. And then boom, now you're part of the show. So come on, manifestation.
Yes. Listen, because you know I like to have kids. What had happened was that monkey crazy. I was pregnant when they announced that this show was happening. And I was like, no, not that I would automatically have the opportunity to audition for the show or anything, but like I was very pregnant when they announced it on Deadline that a Black Lady sketch show was about to be a thing. I was like, oh my God, right? So by the time the show had came out, from the time it was announced to when the show came out, I had just had my baby. So I looked very postpartum. And I just remember just being so mesmerized because it was something that I'd never seen before. And I honestly was trying to figure out how it was going to work. I was like, okay, how are they going to create all these different worlds just using Black women? And then when y'all did it the first season, I was like, oh my God, I was just kicking myself for not staying on birth control. And
love you, Amar.
We're not gonna have you talk about Amar's mama like that.
I love my baby. I love my baby. But I truly was like, God dang it, Angel, you couldn't have waited. So, and I remember watching season 2. Well, when there was a knock at the door on the season finale of season 1.
I can be her.
And I was like, oh, they're adding people? Yes, I was like, they're coming back. Who are they adding? So season 2 happens, and we met Sky for the first time and the other new cast member. And I was just like, dear God, what do I have to do? And so when I got the audition notice from my people, I was like, bet. I was like, Robin gonna have to fight me off of her if she think I'm not about to somehow be on this show. I would have been stalking her. I'd be like, Robin, just let me walk. Let me be an extra. Let me just walk behind you in a scene. I mean, you ain't gotta even let me say nothing. So it felt like something that I had been preparing for, even though I never knew it existed. It felt like that's what this is what I've been preparing for most of my life.
First of all, God's plan, baby. It got nothing to do with what your wants, needs, desires. Amen. Okay? So you had that beautiful baby.
Come on.
And look at the other content and career aspirations and things that you've been able to knock out the park. Your fan base is kicking all of our ass.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
All of the wins, the responses and stuff in the comments. I'm like, blah, blah, blah.
They have their
all of the things, but like, you have built, you've done the work, you did the grinding. And it's because you didn't have a Black Lady sketch show and HBO as a platform. So you had to go old school, pull up those bootstraps, baby.
Yes.
You know, do your hustle. That you know that is instilled in us, that old school like thing, that artistic thing that we have, that you had to do what you had to do. And look where you are now. Right? And then it was funny. I remember when I got
speak a word.
You know, like people do their due diligence, and it was kind of Robin's like, do you know? I was like, yes, I know Angel. I love her. She's somebody. Blah, 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 blah. You know me. I'm always going to hype people up. Not that you need it by any means. I'm not saying that my input had anything to do with you getting hired.
Thank you.
But it was also like that whole mix. Like everything just kind of mixes at the right time. And I was like, and at the time I wasn't outside, but I still came to your birthday party because I'm going to show that I do know.
She surely did. Showed up.
We're really good friends and we'll be so great on set together.
And it's so good because I feel like it's a rarity like you said, we've been doing this for a while. We have been in the audition rooms with each other in the waiting room year after year, decade after decade, where they can only choose one of us.
You win some,
and
I win
this was
some,
a
Brisha
beautiful
win some, somebody else
opportunity.
win some. It was just what it was.
Right. But this opportunity of a Black Lady sketch show, she gets to choose so many of us. Robin gets to choose so many. So it's just a beautiful blessing that I don't take for granted, because there are very few sets where you want to see so many different variations of a Black woman. And a Black woman that does comedy, girl, you know there's usually only room for one of us. So I'm just
so
glad.
then,
I just
but when you said, so this auditional for you just came in the traditional way of like coming through your agents and stuff like that. But I'm saying you didn't be like, hey, I heard that. Or they already knew that you always wanted to be a part of this? Or did it just kind of, like I said, just traditional, like, hey, this comes up, Angel Fitz, are you available to submit your tape?
That's what it was. Like, they knew that they know anything comedic, go ahead, throw it at me. They knew that I had an interest in a Black Lady sketch show. Low key, I actually submitted for the writer's room a couple of years ago. So they knew that, like, oh, Angel, this is the world that she likes to be in. And they watched my stuff online. My reps actually watch the randomness that I do online. So they were like, this would be such a good fit. I was like, come on. I remember auditioning for SNL years ago. They were like,
and
come
it's
on,
all those
come on, here's a Black one.
Come on. All the little stuff you putting out into the universe of the right people knowing it at the right time, and then boom, a few years later, Amar's Petit, you're available to come tweet.
Yes.
That was dumb.
Yes. It worked.
But so you audition, you submitted on tape.
And then we had a callback. And the callback was in the room with Robin. We were in the room with Chloe. We were, Mo was on Zoom. And for those of y'all don't know, Chloe and Mo are co-head writers. And there was one other person in the room, but for some reason,
I think
my
it was,
brain.
I think it was Erica.
There we go. Thank you. And we had this crazy scene that we had to memorize, and we had to become 4 different characters in that scene. Yeah. Demaya was there. Yes. We had to do that scene. And I remember I broke Robin, and that's when I started feeling really good. We had to do, it was supposed to be an impersonation of a celebrity who's no longer with us. It's a man, couldn't do it. So I just did a random, I was like, Robin was like, what was that? I was like, listen, that's what you're getting today, is that voice.
I love that. I love
you're getting.
And then you come, you're seeped into the DNA and the threading of a Black Lady sketch show now. What has been what was your first memory? And I don't know if that would also tie with your favorite memory.
First memory.
Of, like, working.
Just in
like
general
actually,
for Black
now
Lady?
you on payroll.
Work.
Was that first memory that like really stuck with you?
I mean, I'm the round robin will always. It was, you know, we've been in this business. Me and Gab have been in this business for a while. Tam and Demaya, they are newer, and so when we were having conversations, us new girl, we call ourselves girls. We were having conversations. They were like, Angel, so what are we supposed to do? I said, girl, this don't happen in real life. Ever. I said, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life. We auditioned for 70 some odd characters in the amount of 2 days. And I mean, you had even more.
They're like this thick. Am I kidding?
Yeah.
No. There's a binder for those of us that do the analog version. They're about this thick. So we have about 200 to 300 sketches. And the round robin, for those who are welcoming you into this world. So we sit at a table in like a conference room. All of the cast sits around the table, and we literally read the scripts, and we take a turn reading each role. So there's 6 characters. Our mouth is so parched and dry because by the end of that 700 hours, or however long we sit at that table, sweating, nervous, tired, busting out. Oh my gosh, I have some funny behind the scenes that I have to post. I'm going to send to y'all for approvals. Y'all know how I do. But the one
you could approve everything of mine is approved.
The first time I see you, Tam, as a man, the first time I see you, Angel, as a man, Hilarious.
Oh, yes.
But yes, the round
It's
robins
crazy.
are very intense. And the first year I did it, I was so like, wait, what are we doing? I was like, that's not how you audition. When I audition,
Right.
I need people in the hallway, in the waiting room, far away. You shouldn't even hear me, and I definitely
Right.
don't want to hear you. So when we first did the round robins, I was like, this is intense and terrifying, the thought of it. But then when you go in the process, it's very supportive. Would you not agree?
It's supportive. It's supportive. Still
But
terrifying.
still terrifying.
You know, I have dyslexia, okay? So I'm looking, you know, Robin and Gab, they can read like, and I'm like, let me sound this out. Hold on. Paramedics. I'm going so slow. I was like, oh God, I was sweating so bad, but it was, y'all weren't like, okay, these horrible girls, but that was so stressful. We literally have a picture, and I plan on putting together real. After we finished the round robin, those 2 days, we each of us 3 new girls sent a picture of us taking a shot or some sort of drink to celebrate. We made it through the war. We made it through.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how hard sketch comedy is, specifically on our show, the way we film it. But it's a testament to you guys. You ladies came at the war. Your boots were strapped. The titties was taped down. The hair was snatched up out your face. You was ready to go. Okay? So I'm going to put you on a quick pause, Angel. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your story, how you came to be in the ABLSS world, a Black Lady Sketch Show season 4. I saw someone ask about Robin. And just as an update for those of you just tuning in, Robin is unavailable with us, unfortunately, today. As a writer, showrunner, 1,700 hats that she wears. Because of the strike, she will not be able to participate with us today. But we are holding her down. We are sending her love, and all writers out there, union strong. So, all right. Miss Tama Jada.
Sing.
Jada.
Yes, sir. Hey,
so,
girl.
This is my DC Merlin Peaks.
Or whatever.
This is the Jamaican. She got the Jamaican backstory. One.
Big tune, big tune.
She's got the voice. Because the vocals. Listen. Tell people a little bit about how you got to play. Because working with you this year was my first time meeting you. And you've been a sweetheart and a joy. And I've probably been a little annoying. Because Tam had just relocated to LA. Like, you were still in the thick of like traveling from, getting here. And I was trying to be helpful and be like, oh, well, I'll help you decorate with my 2 hours of extra time I have every month.
Great.
But tell us how you got to be here. Because your journey is and this is what I love, is everybody's journey is so different.
Yeah.
Yours seems a little unexpected, right? Because most people know you as a singer. So tell us a little bit about where you got to where you are now.
Yes, I first of all, yes, shout out to you, interior decorator. I still have this bed because of you.
Nice.
But yeah, my journey is a little bit more unconventional and really just kind of speaks to the time we're in. And like, I thank God for people like Angel, because showing us that, like, put it out there, just do it. You know what I mean? And like, don't wait for the calls, like, cause they're going to come. Like, as long as you're following your path and doing what you're supposed to do, like, everything is going to come to you.
A matter of time.
And you just don't get to choose when that happens. But what you can do in the meantime, while you're waiting, is put yourself out there and show what it is that you want to do. Yeah. And so I did The Voice. Yes, proud of yourself. I did The Voice in 2020, and I was on Team Legend, John Legend's team, and I made it to the semifinals. It was super fun. And I remember a particular conversation that we had before we did like a song selection meeting, and he started the meeting by saying, you're just so funny and cool, and your personality is dope, and you're beautiful, and you got the nerve to sing like that. And it was the first time in my life that I heard somebody put the singing last and like all the other things first. And I just felt so comfortable in this like unscripted situation. I'm like making jokes with Gwen Stefani and Kelly Clarkson. Like, I know these women for years. And I just decided after that experience that I was going to open myself up a little bit more to doing things that I wasn't used to doing. And everybody always told me I was funny and I should capture that more. And so I started doing like what I saw Angel and Kevin, everybody doing on social media, like from my own lens. And I created this sketch, like 10 minutes maybe, called the Black Community Strategy Meeting, because I remember being at home during the civil unrest of 2020, along with all the other things that happened. And I remember just following social media, and just, it felt like everybody in the Black community was saying like what we needed to do. And they were all really valid, but it was like, we can't do all the things right now, guys. Like, which one is the most important thing? And as a millennial, like, I felt responsible to, like, you know, be a part of the community. But it's like, I can't riot right now because I live with people over 60 and I can't run the risk of catching COVID. So I can't be on the front lines with y'all right now. And I don't got no money, so I really can't donate too much to y'all right now. I ain't got no money to eat healthy either. So I gotta, you know, like, it just felt very hopeless. And I had a dream about it. And I woke up up laughing because it was like this community strategy meeting with representatives from the Black community, and nothing was getting done. Everybody was just, you know, going in circles. And I woke up and I immediately started foraging my mother's home, finding head wraps, sweaters, jewelry, things to change my characters. And I just made this sketch about that and cut it up and put it on social media. And fast forward a few years later, I get an EcoCast on Actors Access. I had not used Actors Access since I lived in New York and didn't think about it. But I got this EcoCast and I opened it, and it was the casting, and it felt literally like it was describing everything about me. And I happened to be on tour. I was with Jon Batiste in New York City.
Come on, Flex.
And literally, it was actually almost a year ago, guys. Like, it was, I looked at the dates, it was June. And I was in New York City with Jon Batiste for a Juneteenth run. We literally had something to do every single day. And I was like, God, I don't have time to self-tape. What do I do? And every criteria that the casting needed, I had done in that video 2 years ago. And so I submitted, you know, that. And I was like, if you want to see the full sketch, here's the link. Listen, I went all the way unconventional. All the things you're not supposed to do in the casting, I did. Because I was like, I need you to see me. Like, I don't have the resume. I don't have all these things. I just need you to see me. And I just believed from what I saw at home, watching with my mom and my family, that Robin and everybody else who was involved, Issa, everybody would see me if I put myself out there. And so I submitted the casting. I got the callback notice, and it was like, can you be in LA? And I was like, I'm going to be in Canada. And they were so gracious. They were like, no problem. We can do it on Zoom. Let's schedule it. I talked to management, and what the beautiful thing about transitioning to this side of the industry was, like, I was in between touring with Corey Henry and Jon Batiste, and for the callback, I was with Corey, and I had to tell management what I was doing because I needed to excuse myself from sound check. You know, these sound check can go on for 2 hours if you let the boys go. And so it was like, hey guys, this is one of those days I really got to get to my hotel room. I really got to do this. And he was like, you still going to the gig? You still going to make the tour, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to be there. I just got to give me 30 minutes in my hotel room. He's like, yeah, G, no problem. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. And I did my callback in my hotel room on Zoom. I read with Robin. It was terrifying. She was saying some of the wildest shit I ever heard in my life. And I had to respond. And I was surprised at what was coming out of me. And I was like, all right, you hung. She definitely broke me about 4 characters in. I was like, girl, what? I literally just responded as Tam, and we laughed, and, you know, they thanked me, and I felt really good. And then I went to do a tour date. I literally went and did a show with Corey. And I felt in that moment, I did that show, and it felt final. It felt I was transitioning out of that season of my life. And maybe 2 weeks later, I was in LA because I was going back and forth by faith. Okay, y'all.
Yes,
by faith, I knew a job was going to come for me. An apartment was good. Everything was. These ladies knew. I was very transparent. I was just doing everything by faith. And so I happened to be on one of my by faith trips to LA, and we got I don't know if you guys got the same email that was like, Robin would like to ask you guys some more questions. And I'm like, oh my God, what else do they want to know? What else do I have to do? Like, And so I'm pacing around that day, like just, you know, and I decided to go to breakfast because I was like, I'm going to sit in this house and go stir crazy, waiting for this call, whatever it is that she wants to know. So I went to breakfast, and of course, that's when she called. And I was like, excuse me, I'll be right back. I know, turkey bacon, please. And stepped out and took the call. I think she FaceTimed. And we talked, and she did this whole formality. Y'all comedians play too much. Did all these formalities that really wasn't nothing, only to then offer the role. And I literally got so weak in my knees. I could hardly, like, I had to sit on the curb. I was outside. And, you know, it was just a beautiful moment from there. And then, you know, the round robins were exactly what you guys presented them to be. They were insane, but they were so fun. And it honestly was a crash course for me because I got to see everybody's process a little bit. I got to see when people were scribbling down things and like how like some people use voice notes of themselves to hear and remember how they voice things. And some people wrote notes, and I got to kind of like create a process for myself that I never had before.
Love that.
And just really dive in. What I knew when I saw Max Too Much on that paper, I said, that is mine. I have seen that man. I've been catcalled by him. I've dated him. That character is mine. And I went in and did what I had to do in that round robin audition. It was, I think it was clear in that moment too. Everybody was like, yeah, that's hers. That's hers. And then once we did the trial on the first test day, some of us who had to do male characters with adhesive, we did a trial shoot day. And I was like, I literally just came to set. It was like, what's up? How you doing, beautiful queens? Yeah, don't have these ladies in here working too hard, man. I don't like to see my women working too hard. You know, it was fun. It was fun.
Yes,
so.
I'm gonna post that video of the first time I saw you. It's so funny. But like I said, I love your story because everybody's journey is different. There's so many people that want to be on the show and talk about being on the show. And I think everybody here has done that at some point. I know, Demaya, you also had a similar story like with Angel about like, you know, visualizing yourself on this series. And what I love, Tam, is that you knew you wanted something and you just went after it.
Yep.
Conventional or not. Yep. You were like, well, I don't know no better. So what you're going to do? Yep. You're going to tell me no, and I'm going to still be in the same place. But it's about pursuing those dreams, going after the faith, standing 10 toes deep in the belief in yourself. And that's what I love about your story, is that it is so non-traditional that it gives other people hope that watch. There's so many people that are always wanting to be on the show, but it's like there's a way to be a part of this show and not have to have all of this training and background, all these things. You're just a naturally funny person who is super talented, who has this amazing voice, who can, that voice, baby, just gives me chills. But yes, so I thoroughly enjoyed playing with you, and I know you were still going through stuff at the rehearsal. So Mama was carrying a lot of weight. You were, like you said, you were by faith, and you were doing all these things. You were still kind of getting situated, and I loved watching layers of that chip away every day. Every day. From the very first day we filmed the Dina Delita sketch where we were on the track. That was Angel and Tam's first day of filming, and mine too, for the season, to one of our last sketches that we filmed when you did, actually,
Brick House.
One of the first ones I saw you really let loose was this Brick House. Brick House. Brick House was so fun.
That was funny. A fun day.
And I saw you release that day in a way I hadn't seen you do before, and you was just in an element. And when I talked to you the other day, and I was like, "Yo, this came out so great, la la la," and I was telling that there was a line that you said when we were leaving, and it was an ad-lib that you didn't remember saying, because you had found that way to be in that pocket, like where you just let loose, and it's such a joy to watch that when y'all go into that lane, you know what I mean? And then another one of my favorite moments was the last day when I was going and you was doing that character in the gang sketch, and you had the crazy eyes and all of that. So, yes.
Mark.
Yes.
Hollered.
You had to Google me, just say that. Such a fun day. But thank you for sharing that story, Tam. Like I said, it's very inspirational for folks that, you know, feel like they're hopeless because they may have missed the boat or missed that timeline, because society puts these timelines on us, right? And we feel like as we get older, our dreams are supposed to defer, or our dreams are supposed to go away. But they don't have to. If you believe in it, you can find a way to make it happen. So thank you for sharing that. Now, our baby boo,
Yes.
She's a baby in a bunch. I mean, she's a grown-ass woman, ladies and gentlemen. She's
Right.
she's a whole adult.
Right.
She's our baby. We love her so, so much. She's such a sweetie pie. Demaya is, she's a little giggle. She reminds me of just a giggle, just a joy, just happy. Like, Demaya's a giggle. And I don't want to age myself, but giggle cookies, does anybody remember giggle cookies? That's Demaya to me. Like, she's just this happy giggle. Like, she's just joy. Giggle. And what I loved about it, Demaya, when I first met you, your thing was that you were like, I'm going to make Gabrielle break. That was your mission. I was like, oh, sister, okay, sure. Why me? Why do you want to make me break so bad? Why do you want me to break character on set so bad? But what I loved about it was just that you were like, yo, I am ready to play. I'm ready to join these ranks. And I feel like I got my eyes on Gabrielle because I heard she don't break. So that's my mission for this season. So I loved the big, broad, the girl got balls. And I don't mean that just because of that statement. I mean it looking at your whole story, looking at your whole like arc of like your comedy and all those things. And she's such a sweetie pie and delicate and like so excited to meet like an Issa Rae and all those things. But on the flip side of that, she's a beast. Yes. So welcome, Demaya Girlie. We love you.
Thanks.
So we talked, obviously, we've been talking about how everybody got to this journey into this space. So can you tell us a little bit? I know that you've got this huge, crazy fan base in this world on the social space. So can you explain to us a little bit about how you got to play with us this season?
Yes, of course. So I'm gonna keep tapping my screen because my screen's trying to time out, but you know, I'm gonna stay in it, stay with me. But basically, you know, I went to UNC School of the Arts. I was a drama major. And it's a prestigious drama school. It's very normal for people to like book out. That's what we call it, booking out. Like one day you'll go to class and your friend won't be there because she's a series regular on Netflix. Like it's very, you know, normal for people to book out. So I was always like, you know, hoping that would be me. I never expected that it would be, but I ended up booking something. It was just it was a sketch comedy show on TikTok Live. It was like SNL before TikTok. And I told my mom, I'm like, I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to do it. And she's like, but you mean like after school, right? And I'm like, no, I'm going to leave school. I'm going to be home in a week. And she was like, okay. So, you know, left school, came to LA, did that. Once we wrapped, I was desperately trying to find a reason to stay, but I didn't think it made sense to stay if I didn't have work lined up. I'm like, I can go finish and get my degree, you know? And nothing was happening. I wasn't getting any self-tapes. And I knew that Kev on Stage had Kev on Stage Studios, and he had followed me back on TikTok. And I was like, yo, shut up. So I DM'd him like, hey, big fan. Like, I've been watching your stuff for years. Like, if there's anything you could put me on, you know, to keep me in LA, just let me know. And he's like, oh, yeah, I have this web series. It's called Churchy. Mind y'all, I'm in like 2 episodes. I got like 2 lines. It's barely anything. But I was like, see, Mom, I booked something in LA. I could go back to LA. I booked something. See. And she's like, see. She was like, that's what that's the hill you dying on. I'm like, yeah. So I moved to LA, got a sublet, filmed that for like 2 days tops, and then had nothing else lined up. And I knew that I really wanted to be on a Black Lady sketch show. And nobody knew this except for the people in my close friends. That every single day on my close friends, I'm like, day 1, I'm trying to figure out how to get on a Black Lady sketch show. Day 2, day 3, day 4, and I was counting down. And then one day I just got so discouraged, and I was like, day 9,700, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to get on the show. And I was like, I'm done with this countdown. Like, I'm out here looking stupid. Got my 12 people and my close friends looking at me crazy. Like, I'm not booking on this. So I was like, you know what? Never mind. And I kid y'all not. Let me tell you how God works. The next morning, my manager sent me the self-tape request. And he was like, it's another sketch show. I know you just did a sketch show, but, you know, let me know how you feel about it. I didn't even respond telling him I was confirming or denying. I sent him my tape. I got up, did my makeup, did my tape, and that was my response, my self-tape. And I was like, you know, I was praying every single day, just giving it all up to God. And then I remember I got the email a couple of weeks later, like, oh yeah, you know, we're going to call you back. And it's going to be in person and you will be improvising with Robin. And I'm like, as in Didi? I'm like, okay, like this is crazy. So I learned my script. I prayed, went in there with my head held high. I walked in. I saw 2 actresses that I was huge fans of. I was like, well, shit. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to get it. These women are amazing. You know, I know, you know, one of them is very, very well known. I'm like, it's not happening. And I was like, well, and I kid you not, y'all might think this is a lie. I was like, well, you know, they could have that one woman from Atypical because she's been with Kevin on stage and Robin loves Kevin on stage. 5 minutes later, Angel walks in. Hey, everybody. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, this is too much. Like, I saw Angel. I'm like, I'm not getting this job. And she was just sitting there, you know, she got on the phone. I heard her speak in her real voice because I had only ever heard her like in sketches or on Atypical. And I'm like, this is insane. And she left and I was like, I don't want her to leave without saying like, you know, I love her work. And I was just like, break a leg. And she was like, thank you. And, you know, kept going. And she was so sweet. And I'm like, oh my God, like we cool now. I really wanted to talk to her, but my tongue just got tied. I don't know. But she was really sweet. Got in there, did it once, and then it was time to improv. I improv with Robin. My fight or flight kicked in. Like how Tam blacks out, I really don't remember what I did. I could not tell you. It was just a lot of back and forth between Robin and I. And Robin was like, okay, you know, that was nice, but, you know, you're very, very young, and you're very new to this, very green, as people like to call it. She was like, you know, do you think you could handle being on a show like this? Because these women have been in the industry for years. We have guest stars that are very seasoned. Like this can be very intimidating for even Oscar winners. And she's like, you're a baby, so I don't want you to come in and, you know, be super overwhelmed and feel like you can't work to the best of your ability. And I was like, no. Look, I got this training and I got that. And I did.
Come on, run the credits.
Listen, I was telling her all
that beautiful lean footage.
Listen, I was like, I can do this. And I was just listening. She was like, I hear you. I understand, like, your training. She was like, but leaving school and being in this environment, like, do you think that this is something you can handle? Because I like you, but I don't want to overwhelm you. And I was like, well, because my resume is so small, I don't know what I can do. But, like, I think this is the place to learn. Like, I don't want to learn anywhere else what my limits are, if they exist. So she was like, you know.
If they exist, boo.
They exist. And she was just super understanding, and it was on my birthday, and that was the perfect birthday gift. But I left and I cried. I called my godmom, and I'm just like, listen, I don't think I got it. She said because I'm new, and she called me green, and thinking, not even knowing what green meant. I had to look it up. But then my godmom was like, it's okay, baby. You know, things come and go. This ain't the last audition. I got the call a couple of weeks later. And I was like, yeah, like it happened. I called my manager. I sent him all the screenshots because up until then, he didn't know that I had been counting down trying to get on this show. He just was like, oh, Demaya might like this. You know what I mean? So when I sent him all of that, he was like, see, and to think that, you know, you were doubting yourself. He was like, can't you see that this was written? Like, this was been supposed to happen. And it blew my mind. And I learned from that moment forward to never doubt myself. And as actors, it can be real up and down, you know, but like they say, the up and down, you know, the up and down, it means you're still alive. If you flatline, you dead. So we got to, you know, appreciate the up and down. And I got in there with y'all, did that round robin. Very intimidating. They're not really telling y'all how intimidating it is. We're auditioning for all of the same roles in front of the people also auditioning for them roles. So I did that. But once I saw, you know, the environment, the support, the laughs, once I learned that, like, you could come up with stuff on the spot and I could really just trust myself. And the script is important. Yes, it gives us structure, but it's so great that we have room to go outside of that and still make it make sense. So once I saw the script, once I saw my new castmates, once I saw, you know, the writers, and I saw what hands I was in, I was like, all right, it's time to hit the ground running. Let's do it. And I've been doing it ever since. I get really nervous still. I text Gab sometimes in the trailer, like, I'm nervous. Issa's sitting next to me. Like, I was nervous the whole season. I feel like every day somebody's like, good morning, Demaya, how are you feeling? I'm like, real good, nervous. And I remember at one point, Kevin, our DP, he was like, still? And I was like, yeah.
But Demaya, that's a part of your makeup. You know what I mean? It's that nervousness, it's that girliness, it's that cutesy thing that you have. That's a part of your comedy. It's a part of the surprise package that you have. That's
Thank
so beautiful
you.
to watch. You know what I'm saying? And I love hearing your stories. So all of your stories are so inspirational and aspirational because again, we all have such different journeys. I mean, girl, if Robin's calling you green, I must be gray. My story is was 10 years in the making to get to this part. Like, you know, I started out, I came out to LA and was just hitting the pavement and hitting the streets, and social media wasn't what it was when I came out in 06, right? So I was doing a different kind of grind back then, and it was a little different. I won't say harder, but in a way, in its ways, it was harder. But leaving that impression and like having these seeds planted so early, I knew I wanted to do comedy. I always loved it. I was doing stand-up and sketch comedy on stage when Robin first met me, when we first met. Cut to, I'm thinking that part of my journey had passed. Like most of the jobs I was getting were like drama roles between Whitney Houston and doing Luke Cage or Rosewood or like all these other things. I was no longer really in my comedy bag. And it was like, I was praying, like, you know what? I don't want to be in this box. Like, I miss doing comedy. I had a call of my reps. I was like, this is what I want to do. Literally in the next day or two, I get the text from Robin out of nowhere. I hadn't talked to Robin in a long time. And she's just like, yo, I've been following your career. But girl, you are funny and people need to see this. And I would love you to be a part of the show. So it just goes to one of those things how like we all found our way at the same place. No matter if we green, gray, chartreuse, red, purple, orange, we're all here. And that's the beauty of like this industry. It's never too late to go after your dreams because a lot of there's roles from everything from playing the girlfriend to the auntie to the grandma to the whoever. There's always going to be a space for us as long as we keep creating these spaces and people like you that are watching keep supporting these spaces that we've created. That's where we got to support our writers. We got to support these movements because we're creating lanes and spaces for us to grow and us to tell our stories through the lens that people are watching us that we look a little bit like, right? So, but yes, and I remember your first day, your first sketch was
oh my gosh,
the sketch where we were at the casino.
It felt like a movie. I remember because I didn't know what a fun run was. A fun run. Y'all had to like teach
fun run.
And then
so our director, Bridget, our Emmy award-winning directress, Bridget, she always loves to let us do a scripted pass, which is where we film per the script as it's written. And then she lets us do what she calls a fun run, where we get to just kind of play and like find our own thing. And when I tell you Demaya turned up, little Miss Shy, little innocent Demaya, and then she got up there was like, la, 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 like she did her thing. She was going toe-to-toe with Robin. Robin's twerking on the table, and she's just keeping the deadpan face and delivery and like doing your thing. It was so fun to watch you because I knew how nervous you were, but to see you shine on set, I was like, yeah, she's home. This is where you belong. So
yeah, I cannot stress enough how appreciative I am, not just to you, but Tam, Angel, Sky, Robin, like y'all are not like y'all are the best of the best of the best right now. Like y'all are seriously the moment, and to share space with y'all and to get that stamp of approval, like I don't take it lightly at all. I remember like the first fun run, after the cut was over, everybody's like, it felt like the end of a like Disney Channel movie, y'all know me. Everybody's like clapping, and then somebody walks up, a member of crew, I can't remember his name, but he was like, welcome to a Black Lady Sketch Show, kid. And I was like, thank you, I've got stuck. Like I just felt like, it just felt like so, like you're right, it was home. This is home.
I love that. Well, this is home for you all.
Listen, I've got to go. I've got to pick up my
I was just going to say,
life,
we have
but
way gone over the
leave
time,
in the middle of
but this was
Demaya's
such a great
story.
conversation. Angel, I think you've already shared one of your favorite moments, so we can let you go. Thank you for being with us. We love you, sister, and continue blessings with all that you're doing. Oh, where can people find you next before you go?
I am on tour with my husband on June 11th with our podcast, so you can catch me live in Hollywood.
Yes.
June 11th. Check the link in my bio.
Love you.
I love you, ladies. Let me go get him out before he calls the people on me. Bye.
All right. So, Tam, do you have a favorite moment you want to share from season 4 of the Black Lady Sketch? Or did you have either a favorite sketch or a favorite set memory? Oh, she got a whole list.
Yes.
Dive in.
My favorite sketch that I wasn't in was the napkin. I was tolerant in this house.
Kim Whitley.
Huh?
Kim Whitley.
Oh, yes. Hollering down. Okay. I had to pause it because I could not believe. And the thing was, it was funny in the round robins. It was funny on paper, but it's Kim Whitley. It's Kim Whitley. And that was my favorite sketch that I wasn't in. And my favorite sketch that I wasn't was definitely Max Too Much.
Yes.
That's my favorite character. My favorite shoot day was Save the Last Twerk.
So fun.
Because to your point, and I'm so glad, and this is how I measure success for me. Like, I measure success by what I feel like afterwards. And that day I felt like a professional actress. Like, I felt like a professional actress. You guys were not holding back. Up until that point, I feel like there was always like you good? All right, so we're doing it. That day, you guys, I don't know, collectively decided that I knew what I was doing and I didn't help anymore. And I went in. That was probably the most physical day for me. I was on my knees, and I'll never forget, Robin was like, get her some knee pads. And I didn't want to go out like that. Me and Gabby talking about that. It's like, nah, man, like I'll beat myself up that whole day, and then I go home and lick my wounds. I'm all right. And she was like, you're going to regret that. Take the knee pads. And I was like, I'm so glad I took them knee pads, because
just like my silly behind tried to put on real point shoes. I hadn't worn point shoes in years. And I didn't have the wraps that you're supposed to put around the toes. I said, we're not doing this. I'm not going to break my toes. Let's put on some regular ballet shoes, girl, and just go be regular.
Oh my gosh. But there was like a collective text message with me and you and me and Angel the next day, like, y'all hit too? Like, all right, bet. But, you know, just like feeling super comfortable getting physical, saying whatever. I had to just get in there because, like, Sky is saying ridiculous things, Angel's saying ridiculous things. You're just like, la, 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 la. And I'm like, all right, Brick House is here, bitch. Brick House is here too. You know, and so that was my favorite one. And then my favorite BTS that people wouldn't know about, the day of, I don't know if you were back there with us when we broke into Melodies from Heaven.
Oh my God.
At the Duncan sketch?
Yes. Were you back there with us and we started singing? Robin was
green
there.
room?
In the green room.
Yes, because I'm the one who always messes up the lyrics.
That's okay. Everybody was singing at the top of their lungs, and everybody knew. It was a very Black moment that was in direct correlation to the sketch movie. It was just like a movie. You couldn't write that moment like that. And then also Bobby Brown playing word association, song association with Bobby Brown. That is like a special moment that I feel like I'll hold like in my heart. For the Bobby and Whitney are like some of my favorite people on earth. I've watched everything that has ever come out. I had seen you multiple times in that movie. And in the music world, anytime I went on tour, I've sung with Kirk Whalum. I had a random Uber pool with Natalie Desselle Reid, who played the evil stepsister. And I always make it a point to ask them for a personal Whitney story. And they always have amazing, beautiful, beautiful stories. And so I felt like after leaving set that day, I was like, I have a Bobby story now. Like, I have my own personal Bobby story from that day. So those were some of my favorite moments. And of course, like, Gab's not going to talk about herself, but she really is like the most supportive colleague I've ever had. Like, and not just like call you and check on you, text you, like help me get a bed and furniture. Like, she flew and bought her own ticket to come see me in Dreamgirls. That she did not ask me for a comp. She did not ask me for hotel accommodations. She got herself there just to come support me. So like, that is the type of cast that this is. That's the type of real Black women that I get to work with. So those are my favorite moments. And you are amazing. And I love you so much, girl.
I love you too. And she was phenomenal, by the way, Miss Effie.
Thank you.
She did have that. So, Demaya, same question for you. Favorite memory or favorite day on sketch? Like, let the fans know some fun things that you enjoy from the show.
Definitely. Of course, I'm going to say Courtroom Kiki. The Black Lady Courtroom was my favorite sketch since the second I saw the first one with Quinta, like back in the day. So, like, being in it, I was hoping the second that I saw y'all were bringing it back, I was hoping I would get it. Luckily, I did, and I got to meet Yvette Nicole Brown. I got to meet Issa. First of all, the jury, I don't know if y'all peeped, but the jury was sitting, okay? They showed up and showed out, and it was just such a supportive environment. And there's something, yes, working with your stars I mean, your favorite stars growing up, like that's great, but being able to improv with them back and forth, it's kind of like a mutual respect that you kind of have to have in order to catch the ball, as Sky says, you know? So to do that with Issa, Gab, Robin, Sky, Yvette, all at once was insane. So definitely my favorite. Then my favorite behind the scenes moment, probably Melodies from Heaven, like Tam said. And then on the last day, because there was, on our rap day, there was a DJ, and we was doing the wobble, the electric slide. We throwing ass. I'm talking face down, ass up. We was getting it in our, you know, gang wear or whatever. But it was just such it was the only way I could imagine rapping a Black Lady sketch show. And the camaraderie was just something that you don't find in every set that you work on. And I was looking around, and I was like, I'm blessed. Like, I'm so glad to be here. And, you know, Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. But I cried and smiled. It was a good time. Like, I really had a ball. And, yeah, still so grateful. Still on a high from this season and from that last day. I'm just so grateful.
I know. Like I said, watching that last episode brought back all those feels. And so I posted that behind the scenes. I did notice you crying by Rob. And I was like, oh. And it was like all of us in the text chain, like, oh, I miss you, blah, blah. Like, we're just so sappy. But it's beauty. It's like you said, it's this camaraderie, it's this sisterhood, it's this this energy that we just love what we do and we support each other. And it's and I cannot stress this enough. People don't understand how hard sketch comedy is. And you guys dive right into the sketch comedy boot camp and found your way through it and excelled. But you now can testify that I'm not just crazy. It's just hard, right?
Listen,
but I think that makes that because it's this like special thing that we go through together. It's almost like we go to battle in a way, this mental, physical battle where because we survive it together, at the end of that, you just feel this like relief, right? And it's just like there's this bond that we have going through that process together that's really special. Yeah. And I will definitely say one of my favorite days and moments was definitely the last one because I just love when we're all get to play together. So that, and also Say the Last Twerk was fun. Demaya wasn't there that day, but to see Sky in that sketch playing Lil Pleadil was like, what? Like, I just love when we get to play dudes. I don't know what it is about that that's so fun and funny. And I haven't gotten to play a dude since Steve. I played the guy with all these multiple accents.
So liberating because we don't get to be men on a daily basis. So you get to be all the things you can never be.
So fun. But yes, had a lot of fun that day, dusting off my old ballet shoes. Literal old ballet. Those were my old ballet shoes that I had on. Wow. And then no, I think they bought me new ballet shoes. It was the point shoes that I tried to call myself dusting off. I was like, no, I forgot the lamp spool. Never mind. But like the last day because we all got to play and be together, and then that was really fun. And then we did that thing where they just posted today, like the pass the phone. Like
I forgot
kind of cute.
About that.
I totally forgot we did that. There was so much going on that day because that was the first time in that gang sketch world where there was rivals. So it was the first time we had that many people. So it was like this energy was fun. Like it was a party that day. Like it was a lot of fun. Of course, we do our work. We make our days. But the energy is just such a joy. And all of my favorite behind the scenes moments was just getting to know you guys and grow with you guys and learn about your individual personalities, eating good food. Y'all know I love to eat.
I ate down, baby.
The rap party. Down. When I found that in my camera roll, I had to post that in the story.
I don't even remember doing that. I was like, what? I was lit. I don't even remember that moment. I was like, Gab really got the documentary footage.
Yes, Angel just said so many good food trucks. So
even on the last day, like I was still learning. I remember how you said it was a party. Remember they had the light in the window, and so it was daytime, all day. I had never experienced anything like that. I was like, is this what people in Alaska go through? Like, and then when we left and go outside, it's pitch black, and it was like, oh, like it really was like a sealed deal on like we just had our own, like the Black Lady Cinematic Universe is real. Like we be in our own world all day, every day.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the hardest things for me is those early mornings. Because like you said, you'll start, it's dark outside. You leave, it's dark outside. But if you're in the sketch inside and you're playing daytime and, you know, it throws you off, or even sometimes they can make day for night outdoors. So shouts out to our amazing set designers, lighting, DP, like camera crew, our wardrobe, our hair and makeup.
Yes, indeed.
What was your favorite hair and makeup or wardrobe look this season?
Oh, definitely Frocka shit was my favorite. I mean, the
shout out to Siobhan. She let me keep that wig. I made sure every day I said, I just love that wig that I had from Frocka shit.
Y'all were so cute in that. I loved it.
We had fun. We had a lot of fun. That day was hot as hell, but it was so fun. Remember that house where y'all did Roxy Mission?
Listen, they had to keep putting the fan on in between takes. I'm going over like, my boobs apart. Like I had my boob in the fan. I'm like, oh God, we had the corsets on. It was traumatic to say the least. But
I was just always so impressed by our hair, makeup, and wardrobe department about like how they could deliver consistently over and over again such specific looks for each character for a cast of 6 women on top of our guest stars.
And not repeating looks from prior seasons either.
Not repeating looks. So one of my favorite looks of yours, Demaya, was in the Nights, that eyeshadow makeup.
Oh my gosh, the red.
That was so cool.
That was beautiful.
That was, and like that wig was good too.
Yeah, the Zendaya
eyebrows. They made me eyebrows because I had a unibrow, but they literally, it started off with like hair like this long. And they cut it and they glued it and they literally went in and trimmed my eyebrows to make this big unibrow. And just little surprises like that. And then like custom colored wigs that they would dye these wigs for us. I know the sketch you were talking about, Tam, that I did with Kim Whitley. That red curly wig, Siobhan dyed the day before. Like she custom colored that the day before because we just wanted to try something new and something different. So what I love is that the flexibility that our glam team is willing to like play with us and try things with us. They're so amazing. Shouts out obviously to our wardrobe team as well. Such a dope job of like fitting all of our different body types, our different styles, the different period pieces, like top tier.
And prioritizing our comfort. Like they are like, is it uncomfortable? Don't just grin it. Cause I come from the music and the theater world. You just be uncomfortable and you get through it. And they're like, no, don't do this. You're gonna be in it for 13 hours or 14 hours. If it's not comfortable, say something. So like they really, all of them, they care about us.
They care. And all of that care starts from the top. And that's what Robin, like she's making sure she's putting a team around us that wants to see us succeed, wants us to be comfortable, because they know if we're comfortable in our space, we do our job the best to our ability. And the better we do our job, the better the show looks, because now it highlights everybody else's great work, from the editing, which our award-winning editing team, 2 years in a row, bang bang, you know, to our directing, our amazing director, and like our lighting and our set design, and also not like all these award nominations. So just shouts out to all of our department heads. Shouts out to everybody from our COVID department that kept us safe 4 years in a row. Brandy, we love you. Shouts out also to like even to our PAs who are so sweet, make sure we get all the snacks. They know all of our favorite snacks.
They really did. You want your apples and peanut butter?
We are. But this is definitely, this show has been an amazing experience. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed your first season of many, as well as I've enjoyed my 4th season on the show. And fans, thank you guys for rocking with us and enjoying this season. You can continue to watch A Black Lady Sketch Show is out now on HBO Max, as well as on demand on HBO. 6 seasons. You can find us, you know, get in where you fit in, find some of your favorite episodes. One of my favorite was definitely last episode, because I love how we tied up those interstitials, which were so fun this year, with the actor speaking, the actors behind the scenes, behind the lens, actors speaking seriously. We were so unserious. It was so fun. But yes, thank you guys for watching. Keep supporting us. And I don't know that you can get this specific swag, because this was a little wrap gift for us. Okay. But there is some A Black Lady Sketch Show merch available on HBO. I think it's like shop.hbo.something. I'll make sure I post it somewhere. This is not my live, so I don't even know how to post that. Oh, and follow me, damn it. At Gabrielle _
Follow us.
I'm like, I don't know if anybody I know is even on here, because I'm not on my live. But shouts out to Cena Black. Shouts out to HBO Max.
Yes.
Shouts out to Issa Rae's company, Jax Media. Shouts out to Robin Thieves Company for Better Words. Shouts out to our amazing cast. Thank you guys for being here, and all of our amazing guest stars who show. And shouts out to all of you for watching and supporting us and staying with us for this live that went over almost an hour. But we love you. We were just having so much fun, so much to cover, and so much we didn't even get to dive into. But maybe they'll have a part 2 on that. Love you guys. Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.
And I will save this live. I know some people put it in there, but yes, I know to do that. So hope you guys have fun with us. Again, a Black Lady Sketch Show is available out right now. Yes, and shouts out to our girl Sky Townsend who couldn't be here. So yes, the whole crew, we doing it, we rocking it, and we love y'all, and we enjoy doing this hard work for you guys because we know that you enjoy it back. So that's that. Love y'all. Okay. I think I hit the X, yes. Hope I don't screw this up. Y'all will be coming after me.